Hey guys, this is Nasser, aka the Real Estate Doru. I'm not a guru, I'm a doer because I actually do this business. And today I'm going to talk about why am I successful? You ever wondered why you're not where you want to be? Like why you've been going through life just dragging for like 10 years straight, and you know you don't want to be in this place, you know you want more out of life, you know you want to do more, but you can't because you're strapped? Hey, I get it. I was once there. So I'm going to get into why am I successful. Now, hopefully it inspires you to go take action for whatever it is you want to do with your life. I'm not a guru, I'm a doer because I actually do this business. Alright guys, I'm a naturally ambitious person. Alright, so sometimes I might say things that come off extremely offensive because I was always ambitious and I always just get up and get to it, and I don't understand a person who can just go out and be careless. So please excuse me if I offend anybody, but I don't mean to do that. Okay, so I've been an entrepreneur since 8 years old. What sparked that, right? Why did I even do that? Well, what happened was I wanted some Darkwing Duck toys. Okay, I wanted some Darkwing Duck toys, and I went to my mother and said, hey, I need these Darkwing Duck toys. I really want them. For the younger guys who don't know, Darkwing Duck was a cartoon that used to come on after school, and then they dropped the toy line, you know. And so I went to my mom and said, hey, I want these Darkwing Duck toys. She said, boy, you got enough toys, you don't need no more toys. So I was heartbroken, right? And my school had a fundraiser and with the candy. Now, I was middle class, but we was in the hood because we grew up in New Jersey. And when you in New Jersey, it's either like, yo, you could be middle class and still be in the hood. So it's like rich or poor there. You know what I mean? It's real. You know what I'm saying? So, because the cost of living is so high, because I'm from North Jersey. So, with that being said, there was some candy left over. They gave me the candy. They wrote a check. My mother went to NCCU. Shout out to the Eagles. And my father was like a salesman. They wrote a check for the $40 for it. You know, the candy was still there. And I seen the candy was still there. So I said, yo, look, I'm going to sell that candy. And I'm going to buy my own Darkwing Duck toy. They're like, all right, well, cool. So sold the candy by going with them to places to, to talk to adult people, right? And the candy bars like $1 a piece. Eventually, I sold them all. It was $40, okay? And I made the $40, but being that I worked for the money, I no longer wanted the toys. See, it's a difference. When you work for something, you no longer want to frivolously spend. So that was the spark. An entrepreneur was born. And they taught me savings at a young age, okay? So fast forward, through high school, like I was basically that guy, right? I was the popular guy, the class clown, all of that, I was that guy, and I was the man. I was real popular, and I was fly. But I used to sell stuff, right? My locker was a straight up business. I used to have it bumping. So now that we get to, let's move on to adult life, right? It took me 6 years to finish college in 4 schools. 6 years in 4 schools. I remember, first of all, I had to fight to get into school for the first time. I graduated high school with a 1.8 GPA. Majority of the colleges that I wanted to apply, what I applied to, told me no, okay? Because I had a 1.8 GPA, like rightfully so. I didn't earn to get in there. But this one school, they gave me a chance, and I went out there to Wilberforce University out in Ohio, right? Stayed there 1 semester. Went back to Jersey, looked at my GPA, it was like 0.6. I'm not making this up, 0.6 at William Patterson University. And from there, I was like, man, I'm taking out these student loans. Do I even really want to do this? So I went to community college, right? Finished at community college, then went to King University, and I graduated. But I wanted to go over that because I needed the failure, I needed the disappointment, I needed to know what that feels like, right? Sometimes in life, we have to eat dirt to know what dirt tastes like. So we know we don't want to eat that for the rest of our life. Flipped the house in 07, I'm still ambitious. I flipped the house or whatever. And being that when I flipped the house, we end up losing $14,000, $7,000 a piece, me and my man. I moved down to Charlotte, right? First job, $10 an hour. Now, me personally, there's nothing more motivating than getting a paycheck with no comma. There's nothing more motivating than that, bro. I did that, right? That was extremely like, yo, I got to, you know what I mean, get out this place. This ain't for me. I got another job making $12.50. My paycheck still ain't got no comma. I stayed there. I buckled down, got a recommendation in this book. At 26, all right, I really started to zoom in, all right? I started to write down my goals. I found my why. A lot of you who buys the course, the maxofknowledge.com course, I say the problem is with you guys is that you don't know why you're doing it. You see some big checks or whatever the case may be, and you just spend your money hoping for this great result. And sometimes, you know, life doesn't work like that. You got to put the work in, and you don't know why you're putting the work in, so you just don't do anything, right? So you have to have a why. This is my first why, and I'm being real with you. My first why was I did not want to work a job, right? I did not want to work a job for the rest of my life. That was my why. That was my first why. I did not, at 26, I did not want to work a job the rest of my life. Your why should be strong enough to make you cry, okay? If your why doesn't make you cry, then there's definitely a problem. So at that time, yes, the thought of working a job the rest of my life would make me cry, okay? So that was my why, right? So when I got the real estate game, when I got that information and I got a mentor, it was nothing I wouldn't do. He told me to do it, I did it. I was driving for dollars. It took me 8 months to get my first deal, okay? Now granted, I'm in this city 10 hours away from home. I had no family here, okay? If I can't make rent, it's on me. And I wasn't trying to go back to Jersey, all right? This is another thing. Sometimes we gotta get away from the nest egg, bro. We gotta get away from the nest egg and really utilize our own wings. Because when you know you just can't go back or you can't make a phone call for $600, you grind different. Alright? You grind different. And that was my situation. Like, I had to grind different. I'm like, man, I ain't come down here to work in no call center for the rest of my life, so let me go put all my energy and focus into this. Alright? So fast forward, I was doing some deals, then I got fired from my job. September of 2012, I got fired, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna say I was devastated because I knew I was coming. You know, I got 2 job offers before I got fired, but I didn't care about that, bro. I was ready to better myself. I was ready to better myself, man. I was like, bro, I'm ready to just give myself a chance. And my friend, she confirmed it. She said, yo, Nasser, look, you're only gonna be 29 once. You can always go back and get another job. So I'm like, well, cool. That's the play then. I got fired, right? My grandfather passed. I told them, hey, I gotta go to the funeral. My grandfather passed. My grandfather's funeral was gonna be 2.5 hours away, and they basically like, yo, don't even come back here. So anyway, I get fired, went to the funeral. I got back to work. I grinded, bro. Like, I grinded as if my life depended on it. I did not sit there and twiddle my thumbs, all right? Okay, because at that point, my why has changed. Now my why is I don't want to go back to another job. That was my biggest fear, like I had to walk back into another job. So I grinded it out, right? Got fired in September. In November of 2012, that was my biggest month. I made like $10,000. So I was stoked, like, wow, like I made 10 grand. I ain't never made this at no job. So I'm just really going hard from there. And then I just always wanted more. And I just turned it into a 7-figure business based off of fear. What the fear was? The fear was I did not want to go back to that job. Okay? So that's how I did it, right? That was my motivating factor. You have to dig deep inside yourself to see what is your factor. Of course, everybody gives these generic answers, meaning, oh, I'm doing it for my parents, oh, I'm doing it for my kids. Bro, if you're not doing it for your kids, man, like, dig deep down inside and find out what it is you truly want. It's okay to be selfish with this statement. This is your life. You know what I mean? Your kids don't have to wake up every day and go to a job they hate, smile at people they hate. You do. It's okay to be selfless to get you where you want to be. Okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you're selfish with that statement and making that why all about you, what's going to happen is once you get in a good place, naturally your kids are going to get in a good place. Naturally your family's going to be in a good place. All right. When you go on the airplane, what do they say? And you guys heard this 7 million times. In the event of emergency, you put your mask on first. If you have kids with you or elderly with you, you put your mask on first, and then you can save the kids or the elderly people with you. But you have to save yourself first, okay? Too many people, they'll hear somebody else say, oh, I do this for my kids, I do this for my kids. All right, so you making $13 an hour for your kids? Like, come on, man, we got to do better. It is what it is. Like, we have to do better. We have to aim higher. We have to make this work. All right, so you doing it for your kids is cool, okay? But, like, if that's what you really doing for, make sure you really mean that. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, of course I say your why should make you cry, but, like, just make sure you're digging deep down inside of you and putting and making sure that that's the reason why you want this business. You know, I met a guy, right? He's in my market. The reason why he's successful, right? He's a very successful real estate investor. The reason why he got into real estate is because in corporate America, he was making, he said like 60, 65,000. And with his life, he couldn't afford to take his wife on vacation. He couldn't afford to take his wife on vacation. He said, so he was like, man, I seen real estate as a way I could afford to take my wife on vacation. That was his why. All right? This is somebody with a family. He has kids and everything. He got himself in position, flipped the house, made some money, got to take not only his wife but his family on vacation. Okay? Now he's a very successful real estate investor here. But you have to dig deep down inside. So look, this is what I want you to do. This is your homework, and I'm not checking it. This is for you. Take some time out to find out what it is, why you want to be successful. Why do you even want this? Like, who's affected if you're not successful? Who's affected if you are successful? So just, you know, write that down, man, and, you know, put your why up there, man. This is things that I did. I'm not just telling you to do it. This is things that I did, man. This is my why, man. But I'm successful from, you know, just lack, man. I grew up in an environment, bro, where you just had to fight, bro, for no reason. Like, people just wanted to fight you for no reason. Oh, your name Nasser? Hey, bro, I want to fight because your name Nasser. And some of y'all might think I am exaggerating, but I know, like, I always knew, like, yo, bro, nah, bro, I ain't have no family here. No, I ain't doing that, bro. I ain't raising my kids in this. Nah, man, like, I'm trying to get away from this. You know what I mean? As I'm older, right, bro, some of these guys, them guys that always just wanted to fight, bro, like, they're in and out of jail, the ones who didn't change their life. You know, the ones who did change their life, they, you know, did their last prison bid and figured out this ain't the way. And they're in their 30s now, you know, they could be productive. But them guys who always wanted to fight, man, they were dealing with a lot at home, man. And I didn't know this as a kid. They were dealing with a lot at home, bro. They was watching their mother get beat to the floor, you know, buying drugs. Of course, absent father, or if the father was there, he was getting high, you know, good for nothing. Or they did have parents, their parents worked all the time, trying to keep their nose above water. Alright, so this is what I grew up in, bro. Like, so moms was prostitutes, you know, fathers was the dealers, you know, like this is a reality. You know, this is the environment that I came up in, bro. Like, could you imagine being a kid, like, you riding your bike, you happy, your parents bought you a bike, your parents happy, you not taught hate, but you go outside and people just want to fight because you got a new bike and they don't? And some people might try to take that bike, like physically take it. You know, this is what I came up in, bro. So I was not selling for this. No, bro. Like, what is the point, bro, of going up in this environment, fighting real good? Like, fighting real good and winning all these fights. Bro, some of these guys who were fighting real good and winning all these fights, when we became teenagers, those were the guys getting shot first. And you know, when you get shot, you don't make it. You know, so what's the point? Like, what life skills does knowing how to punch on somebody give you as an adult? Like what benefits does it give you as an adult? So there's no need to grow up in this environment. Yes, because I grew up in that environment, it pushed me to be successful. But with that being said, I could have went without that. And you could too. And your kids could too. So man, y'all just gotta get it together, bro. Like we was fried, bro. Like in my group, man, you know, I had a 1.8 GPA. I had 2 friends that were smart. One of them, unfortunately, he never went to college. The other one is doing a long bid. You know what I mean? He's still in prison, unfortunately. But what I'm saying is, in the environment I'm from, it was okay to be dumb. It was glorified to be dumb. I remember this Indian kid came to me. He said, yo, at this point we was out of high school. He said, man, where I'm from in India, we were talking about this, how we glorified, you know, being stupid. He said, bro, where I'm from in India, we admire the smart kids. The smart kids are the cool kids. Okay? The smart kids are who you want to be with and be around. He said, when I got to America, it was reverse. The dumb kids was the cool kids. The dumb kids are the kids you want to be around. And the smart kids were geeks and nerds, and you didn't want nothing to do with them. And it made me think like, damn, like, bro, like we really fried. Like we was really up here worried about having expensive clothes so that we could hide our poverty due to low self-esteem, because we ain't had no self-esteem, so we had to buy it. And we had to buy it with things to make us feel good about ourselves, because we didn't feel good about ourselves. We was in this environment. Therefore, being that we was in this environment, it's like, yo, we was so lost. It had to took me to get out of that environment, become an adult, to realize what we say was like, yo, this dude right, bro. Like yeah, we was lost, man. It's crazy. But man, look, bro, that's why I'm successful, and I ain't the only one from that type of environment. You are too. So look, you know, find your why, grind it out, bro, and don't quit, man. Make sure your why is strong enough to make you cry, man. I'm gonna end it there. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Also, go to the Facebook group, Wholesaling with the Doru. And I see you in the next vid. Peace.